So I witnessed 2 accidents today. I'm like, glad that wasn't me. And I just kept driving along. So you do control your reality and you can make that choice.
Hello.
Hello, FCB. Yeah. We just did a little mini meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get everyone grounded. How are you doing?
Sorry, darling.
How are you doing? Welcome.
Oh, are we on?
We're live.
Okay. Okay.
I just did a mini meditation with everyone. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right.
Would you like to restart? How you doing today?
Yeah, look, been all right. Just woken up, and as you know, I've been very busy doing all these, decodes in the middle of the night. So that's
I saw that.
yeah, no, just been pretty full on. Lots going on as usual. Yeah, so no, I'm all stoked, excited. And at the same token, just trying to keep myself in a great headspace.
Right? That's all you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Very important.
Did you take a little time off and get outside in nature on the weekend?
I tried. I tried.
Yeah.
But look, there's it's the thing is, Tanya, there's a lot of energy everywhere, right?
Yes.
And it's just a matter of trying to, look after yourself, because it's very important. If you don't look after yourself, you can't do what you're supposed to do.
You can't do jack shit.
You can't do jack shit. That's exactly right. So, so what I've been doing is looking after my health by, looking, into what I'm eating, changing everything that I'm eating. And because of that, a lot of the dis-ease, the body not being at ease, has been dissipating. So, for example, I used to be a sufferer of back issues. I don't have that anymore. All right. It's not in my reality. Okay. So it's because of changing diet, what you eat, because eating all those highly processed foods, okay, it affects your body. Now, it obviously affects your microbiome in your gut, right? And that's very fundamental right there, because people don't pay attention to that. They don't comprehend that this is what they've been doing, is attacking the microbiome in the gut, because that is one of the, chakras, I would say. They know, they know what they're talking about, all the different chakras, what they mean. Okay. And obviously they're targeting that one.
Yeah.
It's just amazing when you start, changing the way you do things, your lifestyle. It plays a big role in, in your daily life. You just feel great. You got, like, the thing is, I used to sleep more and get less rest. So work that one out. Now I sleep less, but I get more rest. So, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. In those little things. So I've quit coffee again. That's my thing this week, and definitely needed some napadations to get through that. But we're on the other side of it now, and so there's no going back, so to speak. And it's amazing. Now, it didn't fully flip on my sleep. I was like, oh, maybe I get to sleep really good now because that'll have corrected it. But no. So I just learned to accept that I'm waking myself up for a reason. Something else is going on, and I need to pop back into the body and then out again. So, and when you're more accepting of what's going on, absolutely. And body pains go away. A lot of people have been, every time I hear about arthritis, right, or carpal tunnel, or whatever's ailing you, we have to remember that a lot of it's caused by diet. So you have you're embodying the most amazing creation ever, is this human body and what it can physically do. It's kind of mind-blowing, actually, when I really dig into it. And you have this opportunity now to get yourself really cleaned up, releasing whatever doesn't serve you anymore. And so FCB's working on it. I'm working on it. There's always things that you can clear. And so you might have some memories coming up that you need to clear, or trauma that you need to look at in a new way. And so you have all these beautiful opportunities now to do that, and we encourage you. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Look, Tanya, I mean, there is going to be an increase in intensity of
Yes.
the activities that are going to be taking place, right?
Yeah.
You can expect that straight off the bat. I mean, that's why we've increased the pulse 2 times a week, right? 2 times a week, it's necessary because there's going to be a lot of intel, a lot of news, a lot of geopolitical stuff that we're going to be covering in it. Okay. But, as I say to people are starting to get, right? Let me tell you, it's a whiteout operation. I've proved it on a decode, right? Now, the new COVID, right? And now, for those who don't know what this is all about, I did it on the Kraken 1. Kraken 1 is something that I predicted 7 months ago that's happening right now. All right. So I suggest you watch the Kraken 1. It's got it there. This is all done by design by the whiteouts because, as I said, as we get closer and closer to the scare event, there needs to be a lockdown. People need to be locked down. Now, there are people out there that, obviously they've been following us for a while, and there are those that haven't been following us and they're watching us probably for the first time or a few times. Okay. You've got to comprehend that what's happening right now is necessary in order to awaken the masses. Okay. And it's been done by design by the whiteouts, and the whiteouts give us calling cards. And I've done that decode in the Kraken 1. Now, fast track forward to today, right? It's the new strain is called EG5. Very simply put, right? E is the 5th letter in the alphabet. And why do we use numbers? Because Q tells us, to use numbers. It also gives us in the Q drops the simple arithmetic. A equals 1, B equals 2, C, and so forth and so forth. Now, E is the 5th letter in the alphabet, right? G is the 7th letter, right? And then you got 5, the number 5. Now, add those together. What do you get, Tanya?
17.
Exactly. Whiteout operation. They're telling you. Now, 17 is the calling card of the alliance, the white hats. Okay? That's what I'm saying. People are getting upset. Oh, we're going to go into lockdown. No compliance and all the masks and all. Guys, you don't get it. This is meant for them, not for you. This is meant for them because think about it. We did our stint back in 2020, 2021. We were protesting, right? Now, they've had a year break. We've had a year break or, since we were locked down or whatever, or just over. Now it's time to do it again. Now, think about it. Why? The whiteouts do things deliberately to gauge where we are in the plan, right? To see at what level of awareness they are. Now, they've had a year off, right? A year off this. So during this year, Tanya, a lot of drip facts, evidence being produced in the mainstream media. And now you've got the so-called normies, okay, the mass consciousness that are using TikTok and all the rest of these social media platforms and saying, we're not going to comply. So it's their turn, okay? So that's what I'm saying. It's not meant for you. Don't get your knickers in a knot and get upset and huff and puff and all that because I've been seeing it on my, my Telegram love. You know what I mean? People chucking, nana, so to speak, banana, right? Big bananas, right? Don't bite into that. It's not meant for you, right? So that's what I want to clear off and get that message out, Tanya. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%. So I'm not even paying any attention to it. So we go back to the adage that I keep saying that where your attention goes, energy flows. So the more energy you're giving to that, the more you're fueling it per se. So pull your energy back to you. What do you want to see happen? How would you like it to play out? I want you to write it out, speak it out, think it out, and stop following all the fear porn. It is not for you. You guys are better than this. You're smarter than this. We've been training you for how many months now for this particular time and moment. to be able to swing right through this and actually fly, soar, and shit just flies off you. Can't touch this.
Yeah,
Remember
exactly.
that song, guys? I've been singing
Yeah,
it forever.
yeah, I know, and that's the thing, guys. You gotta, allow things to, to happen. With escalation, we get closer and closer to what what everybody's waiting for. The EBS, and what does Trump says? Be careful what you wish for, literally, because everybody's been wishing for it, and guess what? It's coming. And that was also in another comms that Trump brought out, which I did a whole decade on. Okay, and it also is mirrored in the Q drops, full force. Okay, and you're going to see escalation. So, that's what I'm saying. We, as the Awakened, should not bite into this stuff. All right. Okay. We should focus on the inner work. Let them go through there. Because I'm telling you one thing, people are going to be ringing us and say, oh, do you know this? Oh, come and protest with us. Oh, come and, don't comply. All this sort of stuff. And they're going to be, they're the ones that are going to be doing all this. And we'll be saying, hey, we know this, just take it easy, go out with nature and all that. Why want to go out with nature when all this is happening? You know what I mean? So you're going to get those kind of people coming through, which is, we want people to ask us questions. We want people to obviously, ask themselves, it didn't work, did it? You know what I mean? So why are we accepting it again? We're not going to accept, we're not going to comply. That's them, not us now. We're at the, the observation point, 40,000 feet looking down, looking at the whole show. And Trump just mentioned it in the Truth Social that you're watching a movie. It's there. It's clear in the comms. So that's what I'm saying. And there's people saying, oh, Tanya, about, there's AJ, AJ is, and others spreading fear porn. They're doing their bit. Don't you worry. They're doing their bit deliberately.
Yeah, and the disinformation is necessary. There's nothing's changed in the scenario that we're discussing. It's ramped up, and now those of you, people are spinning like a top. Now take your power back. Stop. Put your feet on the ground. Take a few breaths. Stop watching it for an hour even, and then go, oh, am I feeling better now? I bet you are.
Yeah.
I bet you feel a lot better. Yeah. And I know you guys are struggling. I know you haven't seen family. I get this game. But now is the time. And instead of trying to convince everyone else to see it your way, can they change your mind? No. Now it's important you stand in your power. You stand like a tree. Dig your roots in. And you'll be ready for this storm. Yeah, no free rent in your head. Absolutely. We have a couple questions here, and then I just don't want to go completely bonkers before.
Yeah.
The new chakras. So can we learn about our new chakras? So we have underneath our feet, we have our earth chakra, and it is black, and that helps to keep us grounded. Okay. Then you have your root chakra, which everyone knows at the base of your spine. And then you have your sacral, which is just above, and that one's orange, and your root is red. Above that, you have your belly button. That's your drone chakra. That one you can send out with your consciousness wherever you choose, and that'll be growing quite a bit in the near future. So you can do remote viewing, etc. with that one. Then you have your solar plexus. Then you have your heart. Solar plexus is yellow. Heart is green. And if you operate from here instead of here, this also will get a lot easier because we're all connected. We're all little pieces of source having this human experience. We don't. So there you go.
Apparently in sidereal, I'm Taurus.
That does not surprise me. And I mostly go by what's going on in the stars and the planets.
Yeah.
And what organ does that relate to? Because guess what? The planets all affect each one is attached to a specific organ, which is fascinating. And I'll have to do a little script on that one at one point. Let's see what else we have. Everyone's loving the new website. Yes.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you like it. I'm always adding stuff to it, Tanya. So
I know.
Yeah. So look, I'm getting a lot of people reaching out. And I just want to say this, right? Because I need to make this very clear, Tanya. All right. People are sending questions and questions and questions, and I love your questions. Leave them for rapid fire. Don't send them through our emails. You're going to be ignored.
Yeah.
Don't have time to sit there and answer 1,000 questions. All right. And
we don't have time.
no time. I mean, busy. All right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'd rather spend my time in the sense that I'm using it constructively, right? Because the thing is, everyone's got questions. I get it. All right. But leave it for rapid fire. That's why we got rapid fire. It's your opportunity to ask me questions. Don't use the website because I'm not going to respond.
Yeah.
And
you've already got more than full-time jobs.
Yeah. And it's not out of rudeness. Please don't take it as a rudeness. It's not. That's why we have these, as I said, rapid fire is your opportunity to ask questions, whatever questions you want. Okay? Don't put them on the website. You're not going to get a response. The website is specifically for other reasons, not for sitting there and playing rapid fire on it, you're not going to get rapid fire.
Good for mentioning that. You should actually maybe post that there too. Do not send us email questions because we won't reply. Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting other people writing that have been banned. So I'm getting trolls. I'm getting, you can't stop them. Right. But anyway, you're getting these people and they're saying, oh, I don't know why I got banned and, and I didn't do anything wrong, playing the innocent, playing the victim. Little do they know that what they've said has been recorded in a band stamp that my admins have got, and we can bring out just like that. So please, do yourself the favor for those who've been banned. If you want to appeal, you can use the website to appeal, or you can appeal. That's fine. Okay. We all muck up or whatever. We can accept that, but don't play the innocent. Don't play, because it's not going to get you back on there. You know what I mean? we just don't like shit talkers because we'll find you out straight away.
Yeah.
All right. Just thought I'd straighten that one out.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And then we get another one asking, yes, there was a huge Schumann kick on Saturday, but look at it this way. So the Schumann is supposed to be a reflection of coming from the sun onto Earth. What if it is Earth and our energy sending it that way, and then it's getting reflected back? Just a thought. Every time I see the Schumann spike, I'm like, yes, more people are opening up, right? More people are realizing their energy.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, it's not hard to believe, is it? Because we're all frequency beings, right? Now, what have they been doing? They've been putting something on us. I'm telling you right now, right? There is some blockers they've got on us, which is, I know that for a fact, all right? And they've been blocking us from using certain things, So, we don't realize who we are. We continue to be dumbed down, all right? And we're not able to connect the source. They've been blocking us. All right. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important to realize that we are frequency beings, because they have been attacking us with 5G weapons. All right. We know that for a fact. So therefore, if they're attacking us using a frequency, I'm sure there are other frequencies that are attacking us from blocking us from doing what we're supposed to do, what we're meant to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's been a lot more than that. We can get into the buildings and the free energy, the ether, the plasma. There's a whole set of circumstances that float around that. And we'll be talking more about that on Resonance. All right. So the people are asking about the 9-point star. And yes, the other question. So yes, as they get angry, the higher we vibrate out, the more we manage our own energy, we affect like a few 100,000 people, if not more each, the higher we vibrate. So we can affect those around us. We can shift those around us to help keep them calm. And that is why at this time it's really important as well. We are counteracting. And then let me grab this sun so you guys can see. It's actually a 9-point star with the copper in between. Peekaboo. Monroe made this, and it's actually a chaos star that we created. And it's an honor. It's the sun, it's the moon, it's a star, but it also has these wires in here because we're honoring the chaos. Because chaos it's part of the world, it's part of life. And so by honoring it and giving it a little love, we're hoping to keep it at bay. Let's pause that.
That's lovely, Tanya. Love that
Yeah.
one.
Well, somebody was asking, so I'll just pause
Yeah.
it right there for now. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's whatever you think about, you bring about. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, Tanya, I want to speak about is people have been talking about dates. I don't go by dates.
No.
They keep asking me this date, that, what other truth. I don't care what other truthers say. It's up to, they can go and say whatever they want. Don't push me to give you a date, because I'm not going to give you a date. All right? We work on the events. It's what's going on at the moment that determine where we are. All right? So please don't, this is what I'm saying. People are still fixated on dates, Tanya.
I know.
Right? And what does that do? It sets up for disappointment, right? Missing an appointment, basically. Disappointment, missing an appointment. Everything has meaning in a rhyme. You know that with etymology of words. You're missing an appointment. You're going to continue to miss an appointment, right, if you keep setting yourself up for it, you know. People have got to get it. This journey is very fundamental. Everything that happens is not reliant on dates. Events, basically, it's considered to be a life lesson. That's what I'm trying to get people. It's a life lesson. The events are necessary to teach you a certain part, you know, in this plan that is a life lesson. When you get that, you know, and as I've said before, Tanya, you know, people are, you know, are we there yet? Are we there yet? You know? Well, what about the journey? You know, it's like you go on a lovely trip, you leave your house, you go for a drive, you can go on the freeway and miss everything. Or you can take the scenic route and absorb and enjoy what's going on around you. You learn something new, you know, from the sights and where you're going. This is what I'm saying. People we become a society, and this is the thing. We become a society where we want things now. I remember back in the day, Tanya, we didn't have the cell phone, right? You weren't at home, leave a message. Simple. When we got home, the message was there, right? Now, with what they've done with the cell phone, what have they done? They made us into a society we want things now. It's got to be now, right? Finished. This is done by design. By, you know, obviously the cabal. All right. Now, we've got to break out of that. Guys. We've got to start to appreciate where we are in this journey and how fundamental it is, okay, that we do go through all these things. It's part of our growing, you know, it's part of our spiritual evolution, right? So this is what I'm saying. It's very necessary. And, you know, all these things that are happening are for lessons to be learned. Now, obviously, you got different classes, so to speak. Let's put it into classes. Okay, I don't like division, but you've got the advanced classes. We're in the advanced classes. We can see what's going on. We know the others are still behind, and we're hoping that they catch up. And, you know, that's why they need extra learning, don't they? They need extra education. All right. And that's why I'm saying it's very important that these things do happen. Now, you know, people are saying, oh, you know, the deep state's in control. No, it's not the case. Okay. Deep state's not in control. Basically, the Wyatts are in control, and they are, you know, developing these lessons. They're getting public consciousness. They're seeding them with different lessons. Okay. Now, as I said, we're advanced. They're still at the process now of learning that the jab was wrong, learning about big pharma, learning about all these things, the government, you know, the whole lot. That's where they are, and that's all necessary. Do you get what I mean, Tanya?
Absolutely. Yes.
You know, so this is what I'm saying. People have got to stop the "are we there yet" mentality, the instant gratification mentality, right? We've got to stop that. And the only way we're going to do that is by appreciating, being in the attitude of gratitude and say, thank you. Thank you for, you know, allowing us to be where we are right now. And, you know, being connected to God, source. okay? Because there's so many things we can sit down and be, you know, in the attitude of gratitude, Tanya. What I recommend people do each day, you know what I mean? Remember back in the old days, you'd have a journal and you write things down, all right? It can be about anything. How about we open up a journal and we write down what's it to be grateful? The attitude of gratitude. What are you grateful for? Why don't you do that one? I think if people started doing that, they'll start realizing how grateful we should all be.
And
what do you think?
And as soon as you have something you don't like or you're frustrated, find something you're grateful for, because it will shift your energy right back in. So it's up to us to manage our own energy. So what's triggering you? What's affecting you? Start managing it. For me, when I haven't listened to it for years, but used to be when I was running the business and it was so busy, my phone did not stop. And it was the sound of a cell phone where I'd be like, and so I just turned it off, put a message on there.
You know what I do, Tanya? With my cell phone, I don't put ringtones, I put silence.
Yeah, always. I don't want to hear it.
And people say, oh, you know, why didn't you get my call? I'll see it when I'm finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll see it when I see it. I'm not going to sit there and be in the back of the call of a device. You know, like, you know, a device telling me what to do.
Yeah.
You know, Tanya, I don't know if you saw the video that I'd like to play right now and show people.
Sure.
This specific video, which basically encaptures everything that we've been talking about. When I saw it, it's an animated video, and people have seen it up on my Telegram, and they go, whatever you said, FCB, it's right on that video. It covers everything. All right. Yeah. So I would like to show it. It's unbelievable how this video, it only goes for a short time, but it covers everything that we've been talking about, Tanya, from, you know, being a society, you know, that is so reliant on digital devices. Okay. That
by design. By design.
Yes. Yeah. By design, may I add. 100%. But, you know, this is what I'm saying, Tanya. There are, you know, obviously these things that are coming out, you know, they're coming out for a reason. It's not like, oh, that's a coincidence that I saw that. No, that was put in my path for a reason, all right? And to give us validation and confirmation of what we've been saying is true. You know what I mean? So what I want to do now, let me just see if I can play the clip. Give me a moment while I do that.
Yeah, no worries. And I can just add while you're setting it up.
Yeah, you can do that. You can
and there's a lot of people still talking about family that's not awake. So let's just recap on that one too. It's really important to understand, guys, that it's like there's this field of energy going out, and we were all lucky enough to be activated sooner. But in that activation, we turned around and wanted to tell everybody else, yo, look what I know. But they're not ready to hear it yet. And so if they're not ready to hear it yet, you can't change their mind. Just like somebody couldn't tell you, right? Oh, you're ridiculous. That's not going on. So you have to remember that holding space and operating from the heart means finding some common ground and listening to them. When you listen, your two ears together shape a heart, and you're listening from your heart. And now your heart's connecting with their heart. And now you have some commonality because your energy is exchanging. And so I really recommend that you try that. Just try it. Try and stay open for them, because they're going to come to you, right? That's the most important thing. Love them where they are, because people are going to start popping up like really soon.
I think that pretty much covered that video, and it speaks in volumes, as I said. And I've got it on my Telegram if you want to see it.
Yeah, yep. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, it's important to you know, people just forget that your subconscious is picking up millions of pieces of information per second. And so now I did a program, Freedom from Self-Sabotage, which I got to learn all about a lot of the subliminal stuff and watch and really train my eyes for it. But unfortunately, he's still selling fear, because this is happening and this is happening. I'm like, oh, I can't listen to this. So really lovely fellow and a really good opportunity to learn that way. But anytime I watch anything, and now I've trained Jade to do it. So she's watching a show. Oh, did you see that? And I'm like, yeah, I saw that. because once you're aware of it, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So if you become not hyper aware, but very aware of your surroundings, what you're consuming, where you're putting your attention and what you're thinking about, it really does start to shift you. And you can reprogram that subconscious through affirmations, through visualizations, through active meditation. There's so many ways, you guys, but you have to choose to stop focusing so much externally and come back to you. Get to know you. Who are you? What do you like? What are your preferences? What do you not like? And when you start to dig into all that, it becomes a new world. Yeah. And of course, we're all tired. We are, well, I'm actually not tired. I'm doing pretty good.
The thing is, Tanya, why do we show these things, right? The reason why we show these things is to empower people. Because what as Q says, knowledge is power, right? And I know it's uncomfortable truths, but we need to face these uncomfortable truths without attaching our emotions, okay? Using a logical mindset, okay? Because how are we going to help people if we're going to be emotionally compromised? We can't do anything at all right? So that's why I'm saying you should be at the stage, a lot of you, I'm not saying everybody because everyone's at different levels of awareness, and that's normal. That's fine. Where you should be able to look at something, even the mainstream media stuff, and basically detach yourself emotionally. It's very important that you're able to do that because we need to be able to be of service to mankind. How can we be of service if we're incapacitated? We cannot.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And so somebody's asked me to bring up the 100th monkey effect. So there's an island in Japan where they took these monkeys and taught them they were giving them food. It was going in the dirt, and they taught them how to go to the water and wash the food so then they could eat it clean. Right. And we're similar. We have a lot of similarities to monkeys as far as our makeup of who we are. And so once a certain amount of monkeys, once 100 monkeys had done it on that island, all of a sudden, islands that they were nowhere near, all the monkeys started to wash, and then it kept spreading. This is the collective consciousness that we are as light workers, as healers, as those who are here to hold the light and shine it as bright as we can. That is what we're here to do, to help lift you guys up so that everything starts to vibrate out. And eventually, there's things that happen in these comments because we're all connected. We're all think something, and then somebody types it. I'm like, oh, look at that. So this is a thing. This is a possibility. This is what's going on. And so a lot of people right now are like, something's not right. Something's not right in this world, but they don't know what. And they don't want to say anything because they're looking around at everyone else. Well, nobody else is saying anything, but it will come. So just, keep vibing that same way, please.
Yeah, definitely. And, this is what I'm, Tanya, what's very important. I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in this, get caught up in, what's going on, watching grass grow, basically, and then getting frustrated because of it. Okay, but people are saying, oh, nothing's happening and all that. But hold on a minute. Why don't you focus on your inner self?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. People say, I'm bored, because something's not happening, right? How about you take control and do something constructive? And, when I want to do something and I've got spare time, I'll sit there and I'll re-educate myself in something totally different to what's going on in the show, right? That's what I do. Okay, I'll even as small as picking up a new recipe and cooking something, As Tanya said, the other day she made normal salad. She made something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had roasted vegetables last night that were really yummy in a salad. So yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. So, it's about learning. Life is amazing. When you sit down and think about life, this amazing gift that we've been given by our Creator to be able to do things, and as spiritual beings, we decided to come here. We signed an agreement to come here right now. Okay. Now, part of our agreement is to learn things that we need to learn to evolve as spiritual beings. And it could be something as simple as, making, as I said, going to a pottery class and learning how to make, nice clay pots, something as simple as that.
Yeah.
And
something that
this is
brings
what
you
I'm
joy,
saying.
that's an expression too, right? So to be able to
Yeah,
express yourself in some way, because we all agreed before we came in that we would allow all our thoughts, all the things that happen to go into a record of halls, so to speak, a living library, a Akashic. It took a second because I haven't been calling it that recently. And by doing that, Source gets to record. That's one of the agreements. We also don't remember because we would never have the lessons the same way if we came in knowing. It wouldn't be the same game. We wouldn't have the same experience of this beautiful point where you start to realize, oh, this isn't really real. It is, but it's right. But this is real, and this is real, and this is real. My consciousness is real. Oh, can I manipulate this game and start playing with it? What can I manifest? Let's play with this game. And that's what
yeah,
begins to happen.
yeah.
Now
I do Tanya. When I
yeah,
go shopping, go to the fruit shop or whatever they
yeah,
go shopping, I'll sit there and go, right, okay. And just, because obviously you got to practice your manifestation skills, right? So I'll start something small and say, right, okay, there's car park, there's cars everywhere, right? Can't find
yeah,
a car park. I'll just sit there in my quiet contemplation and visualize the car park, and bang, it happened twice in one day. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. You start off by something small, and it's not like, oh, it's got to be there. It's got to. No, it's not like that at all. You just, in your quiet state of mind, you visualize it, right, and you intend it and release it, and you'll. That's how you manifest. Okay, and it's not a bunch of heebie-jeebie black magic stuff. No, it's nothing like that at all. People have got to get it and this is what a lot of people have said. Oh, I'll wait for God to do it for me. I'll wait for God. You'll be waiting forever because you
right?
don't realize that God's within you,
Yeah,
and works through you. So it's the power. You've already got the power. Right? People are sitting there, it's God. I'm waiting for God to do it for me. No, you'll be waiting a long time.
yeah.
That's why I keep
We
saying,
have to set that intention, right? And get it moving forward, so to speak. Cindy's saying that we have a brother traveling to Iraq for 1.5 million people prayer migration right now. That's powerful. So that
yeah,
1.5 million praying, I got like full head glow over that one. That's going to be very powerful. When two or more gather together, it strengthens it and doubles it. It's why I like to do the little mini meditations. Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say I pulled a card for the collective today. And look at that. It's the Two of Cups. And it's agreements. It's working together. No more division. We all want the
yeah,
same thing. We all want freedom. And cups are always good.
yeah. And then the other
Energy's
thing,
moving
talking
and
about
flowing, but we need to come together because we get to end this when we say no more. And as a
yeah,
collective, we need to come to that. That's the 100-monthly effect. We choose. This is done. We stand up and say, and I bet you in seconds that show would end if we all did that. It would. It would totally crumble.
yeah. And the other thing, talking about cups, is you've got to make sure that your cup is full before you can help
Yes.
somebody else. How
Yes.
can you help somebody if you're incapacitated? You got to make sure you're in the great headspace. Make sure your cup's full. Okay. Make sure that you look after you, because if you don't look after you, no one's going to look after you, and you're not going to be able to help anybody else and be a service to mankind. So people need to get this. Number one, right, which is very important, is, as I said before, if you're waiting for God to do things for you, you're going to be waiting a long time. You have the power to manifest. You are creating God's image. God works through you. It's not mysterious ways. It's just the way it is. Okay. Now, the other thing is that because you have the power to manifest and whatever, start looking after yourself. Start manifesting an amazing reality today. Don't wait for the future and say, oh, when I get my Nasara Jasara and my pot of gold and all that, that's when things are going to be honky-dory. When the med beds come in, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to wait till then. But in the meantime, let me hold my breath until I turn purple. You know what I mean? No. You don't do that. Okay. You intend your reality today and intend an amazing one. All right. If you're going to keep waiting, you're always going to be incapacitated because you're putting yourself in a state of future, right? A future that never comes. Your future is determined by what you do right now. Sorry, Tanya.
No, 100%. So I just wanted to bring this comment up. I keep having deja vu lately. So if everything is energy and everything's shifting in vibrations, it's not really past lives, it's different vibrations of timelines, right? And so when you have deja vu, you're close to another timeline. Somebody else put it like this, and I thought it was interesting that we're in a program, right? And so that program, something had to be corrected in the program. So I don't know if you guys all felt that really weird on the Friday with Trump, when Trump was arrested, that there was some pretty insane energy going on. And then you saw the Schumann kick up the next day. Well, that's us, right? But quite often, if we're in this program and the program's being corrected, we're running into a similar, there was a bit of a loop. We were in a constant loop. It wasn't happening the same way. And I've got Lisa coming on Resonance next week, not this week, but next week. And she knows a lot about that system, so to speak, and she's got some really good information. But you know, when you have that deja vu, just acknowledge it, and sometimes it's just something to release too. Yeah, and that deja vu is really just you have done it before because you've been on a repeat. So look at it that way.
Reminds me of the Matrix. Remember that one with the cat glitched?
Yes,
you know, deja vu.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. There's so much power in those movies. I have to do a special show with Monroe because she's got that movie down pat. She knows all about them. She watched them again now versus before when she watched them so that she could pick up the new information. She's like, oh, yeah, that and that and that. So she's done a decode on the Matrix, basically.
Oh, look, there's so much decoding you can do on that one. And I've watched them countless times.
Right?
Yeah. Tell you everything about every part, every scene, everything. And the thing is, like, you know, that's what Q keeps saying. You think the Matrix is just a movie, you know? It says it in the Q drops. Why do you keep referring to it in the Q drops, guys? Obviously, there's a meaning behind it. Okay, we are in the Matrix, all right? The Matrix of lies and deception. Okay, and basically, us being red pilled is unplugging. We're taking the red pill like Keanu Reeves did, and we said goodbye to the rubbish world, the world of lies, and we went into an uncomfortable world of truths.
Yeah.
Which,
but can I just say,
in the Matrix.
I really want to download those programs where just suddenly I'm a master, you know, kung fu fighter, or I can speak all these languages, or I can bend time. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about the full moon tomorrow. Yes, it is significant. It's the second full moon in August. This moon only happens once every 4 years. So it's a really good time to release what no longer serves you and set some intentions for what you do want. So that's up to you. You can certainly go out in the moon. Yeah.
You know, Tanya, let's entertain for the moment. Now, I don't know if you've seen the movie called Moonfall. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not.
You got to watch it. Got to watch it. They put things out in public consciousness. It was done by the White Hats. Okay. It's about the moon being an alien space satellite, whatever you want to call it, massive space station. It's hollow.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, it's not far-fetched.
No. And it's a reflection of Earth. But there's another moon, you see.
And think about it, why this is not far-fetched, Tanya, because let's go future-proofs past. That movie was talking about this moon and basically saying it's a big alien space station that's hollow. What other movie in the past that was made in the 70s has this exactly the same thing?
Yes.
The Death Star.
Yeah.
Looks like the moon, doesn't it? That's what I'm saying. They're doing things deliberately. They're putting things out there. They have to. Even the cabal were doing it because they got a part of what they do is they got to put their deception in front of our face. All right. It's part of their satanic law. Okay. Yeah. And they have been doing it. Now, the White Hats are taking it And obviously they're doing this for a reason. And Q mentions about the moon. There's something I'm telling you that doesn't sit right. Okay? That doesn't sit right. We're being believed that the moon is what it is and whatever it is. Did you know in the Bible, the old one, it doesn't talk about the moon. It talks about the sun constantly.
Yeah.
Right? So when did the moon come to play? When did that come into?
But the moon is a cycle that we follow for sure. It's been followed forever, but it's not this
Who
moon.
created that cycle and who created that moon? And that moon obviously plays a big role on what we do here. Now, a lot of people have been saying that this moon obviously affects our karma, our what do you call it? When you transition, you go back. We're not meant to go back. It keeps throwing us back. Right now, I've heard so many things like that. So that's why I say it's very important to keep an open mind, especially we don't know what's going to be coming our way very soon or in the future. Okay, so that's why I keep saying have an open mind and detach yourself emotionally and allow the truth to come. And you'll know that it is the truth because it will resonate with you, and that is your connection to source through intuition. What's your thoughts, Tanya?
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that the real moon is more of a star, and it's just a brighter star that we can see, in my opinion. And we won't know for sure until we know for sure.
Someone said it was plasma. The real moon's made out of plasma.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can talk about because there's a question here. I love the word plasma. It gets me so excited right now. It's like been my favorite thing to play with because plasma holds information, not unlike water, but above the firmament, it is plasma. And when you hear thunder and it echoes, yes, there's a firmament above us. It's an energetic firmament that we actually need. Space, when you can, there's a.
Well, you've heard about so is above, so is below. There's a firmament below as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And in our, in a way, you look at it, we're kind of in water. We're in plasma, per se.
Yeah.
So we're just not aware of it because we can't see it. But you can feel the air. When the air changes, you can feel it get thick. You can certainly see lightning, right? So you can see these things. And if you start to play with clear quartz crystals and rub them together, or you think about what people are doing when they're creating the copper toroidals, which brings me to mind, I've been working on a copper crown for myself, that you can start to play with this energy. And there's a way to collect it. Think electroculture, right? Absolutely.
Tanya, I believe that we've been, hoodwinked in the sense the amount of things, ET stuff that is going to come to light, right, it's going to blow people's minds. That's why Q says that, it can't come out straight away.
Yeah.
Right. And people thinking, about the tunnels and all that, there's a lot more to it. All right. Now, can you imagine these people that believe that the world is number one, a globe in the middle of the vastness of space, one little, speck of blue dust, that's another thing they got to deal with. But then can you imagine when they, and this is what I'm saying, there's no coincidences why the ET stuff has been coming to public consciousness about aliens. That's all been coming out there for a reason. This is the Whiteouts doing it. They're seeding consciousness. Okay. They're bringing him to a level of awareness. Because I'm telling you right now, when the truth does come out, what Admiral Byrd was saying has been suppressed. All right. So we're seeing that bit he's talking about Operation High Jump, and he went over the Antarctic, and there's continents bigger than, the United States over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, you think there's just empty land? You are so what do you call it? You don't know what's there. I'm telling you. What Admiral Byrd said in that clip was just a little bit. He's been silenced. He couldn't tell you exactly what else was there. Okay? Now, can you imagine when the truth does come out? I can't wait, to be quite honest. Okay? I love disclosure. All right? And I take everything, right, in my stride in the sense that I'm not going to let it upset me because I am at a level of awareness where I can detach emotionally and see things in a logical perspective. So when they tell us that, hey, you got ETs on the other side of the wall, yeah, yep. No, I know it because I feel it. My intuition tells me it's right, and I know I'm connected to Source and God, and it truly resonates with me. So this is what I'm saying. Whatever comes our way, we're not going to be as shocked as the others. That's why this.
No, I just take it all in stride these days.
Sorry?
I just take it in stride, especially the good things. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, it's great, isn't it? Because the thing is, can you imagine when, we find out, it'd be like, yep, we knew. There's nothing that we didn't know. I mean, like, I'm sure there's things that we didn't know, we don't know. But I'm just saying, as far as the ET disclosure, you know what I mean? It wouldn't faze us and it wouldn't, shock us at all. Okay? Because we've been talking about this for a long time now. Okay? It's the ones that, love the Queen, have got all the dishes of the Queen, the Pope and all them, worship them, they're in their religion, worship the bricks and mortar and the lies. They're the ones that are going to be hurt. Because they thought that, God created us and nothing else.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that they'll find out. So Penny Lane's asking, is there a sun and an inner earth? Yes, it's more like a crystal, to the best of my understanding. Watch the dark crystal. That's a good one to give you an explanation. Oh, yeah, and they were hypnotizing people to steal their energy in the dark crystal. And I watched that as a kid, and I was like, oh, now I watch it, and I'm like, oh, why is that eyes wide open? Interesting. Other questions. Yes, I believe the real moon is plasma, and most you think about it. Yes, water above the firmament because it is blue, right? And wait, I believe plasma is how we get all our information when you activate this, which brings me back to the crown because somebody asked. And so this goes here. And then I've got a quartz crystal to put here.
Does it connect via USB?
He might know an antenna. Let's see what happens.
Has it got a USB connection?
Well, copper's a conductor. I was told to make one. Oh, you need to make a copper.
Yeah, I'll be worried if I see you putting a wire connecting a USB cable to it.
Oh no, this is for meditation, which I've been doing a lot more of lately. Because the crazier, like the more activity of the energies, the more into center I kind of, just 5 minutes, close my eyes and breathe and just check in and yeah, we're good. I'm paying attention. We're good. We're good.
This is people got to get that meditation is basically, it's what I take from meditation, Tanya. It allows me to quiet my mind. I get a better rest and sleep, right? In 20 minutes, believe you me, you get a better sleep, better rest, not sleep.
Yeah.
Better rest. Okay. And also you get you connect with the source, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing better than that and very blissful. It's very blissful. When people sit there and they, and pray and repetitive pray, God doesn't want to hear an ego. I keep saying it. It's true. If you're God, we all got God in us. So
you're just manifesting what you don't want.
Yeah. Well, basically, you just go on a repeat, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what they do. Well, think about it. All right, listen. I'm breaking things down here, and I don't want people getting pissed off with me, but I'm going to say it. Right? You go to the Catholics, right? They got the Hail Mary and they got the Rosary. It's like they're on repeat, right? It's like a repeat. So you're not going to. God doesn't want to hear a nagger. That's nagging, right? Sitting there saying the same thing. What does the Bible say? Do not what the heathens do and repeat words. God doesn't want to hear it. What do people do? They're complete another opposite. Oh, Hail Mary, full of grace, blah, blah. Just keep going the same thing over and over and over and over again. You're doing exactly what God's telling you not to do in the Bible. Where's the sense in that? You know what I mean? No one questioned, and think about it. The Catholic Church did not want people to have access to the Bible for those reasons. They wanted to have the middleman interpret the Bible the way they wanted to, according to what the Catholic Church wanted. And that's exactly what the other religions have done. Exactly the same thing. All right? Because no one, I've sat there and I've had disputes with people over this, okay? And in the end, I've used a nice, calm mind, very logical mind, and they end up getting angry and pissed off and walking out of the room, right?
Oh, wow.
Because that's how they can only handle it. They can't see it from when you start to challenge their programming, you'll find it. That's why with the normies, when you challenge their programming and you use a calm mind, calm voice, and you sit there and use logic and reason, they can't answer you back. They just get frustrated and their programming kicks in and they piss off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they do. So this is where you got to comprehend that the Whiteheads have had a huge task in creating this great awakening, all right? And there's more to it. Obviously, there is more to it that we don't know.
Yes.
I believe they've had to remove certain, cabal-created constructs to be able to spark off this great awakening.
And I think and they're getting help from the other side. So, and there's
definitely from the ETs, yeah.
There's another person. So the people I follow are completely different than most know. There's another woman, Athena, and she taps into the collective consciousness, and she's been finding out about what's going on up in Antarctica. And there's this movie that Monroe was talking about. It's called Atlantis, but it's a cartoon. It's supposed to be a kid's movie, but there's so much truth in it that I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
And there's actually giants that have been holding the energy field, holding the construct, and they've been waking up. And so in that movie, all the giants wake up and recreate it, and now it's reset, and Atlantis comes back the way it was. And I'm like, so good. So there's so many different, there's so much we don't know. And so take what resonates and what doesn't. But, I think we were giants at one point. That's what we got to come into. And we've been made smaller and smaller and smaller so that we were more controllable. Anyways, just some thoughts.
Yeah.
Some random Tanya thoughts. Yeah.
No, look, Tanya, your thoughts are amazing, love. And it obviously gives a different perspective on things, which people need to hear and to comprehend. Now, there's going to be a lot of, as I said, Tanya, and it's all necessary. The truth can be very uncomfortable for people.
Yeah.
Okay. And, this is what I'm saying. What people do is the moment they're faced with something that's truthful and it's uncomfortable, I've got to turn it off. I've got to walk away. I can't handle it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's exactly what the cabal wants you to do. Switch on go back to your programming and switch it off and go back to ignorance is bliss. All right? That's exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah.
All right? Now, they want you to be a follower, right? They want you to follow. Whatever, this is what I'm saying, Tanya. Even in the Bible, it says be a follower, right? Disempower yourself. You're giving yourself your powers away. Jesus came as a teacher so he can, teach us how to manifest, okay? Yeah. To make us realize that the power's been within us. And he also says to worship God. The only one you should be worshiping is God, source. That's it, right? Made it very clear. All right. Now, in the Bible, as you know, it's been manipulated in the sense that, we're being referred to as sheep. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying, guys. And a lot of people might get pissed off, but you got to look at it from a logical standpoint that, we've been trained through the manipulation of this, the Bible, to believe that we are, always going to be followers. We've got to follow. And then what does the priest represents, right? Priest represents, the liking to be like Jesus, basically, to teach his teachings that have been redone by the church, right? So everything that Jesus has taught has been redone to suit a narrative, okay? Yeah. And it's like what happens in the parish. He stands up on a platform, big platform. He looks down, and everyone else is the sheep down the bottom. I'm telling you what it is, and you sit there and you don't argue the point. That's basically it, Tanya. Haven't you seen them how they sit up on their stages
And that goes right back to the town square, where whoever's in charge stands on a box, so they're looking down. That's part of the hypnotizing.
Yeah. Even
right?
in the court of law, Tanya, the judge sits up high. This is what I'm saying, guys. People have got to get it. These people are just, they're just human, right? Just like us, whatever. This is what I'm saying. You got to get out of the thing is the moment they put on this so-called dress or uniform, whatever, they gain more importance. You know what I mean? And then they stand up on a higher platform, right? That is all a man-made construct, right? That's all it is, okay? And the police, they put on the police uniform, that's it. You know what I mean? They're better than us. They rule over us. This is all in the head, okay? Who has given the police the power? It's been the government. They are the ones that steer the minds of the masses. This is what I'm saying. When you start to realize things and you disempower them and you empower yourself. Okay? That's what we got to start doing is empowering ourselves, right? We're not a bunch of sheep, all right? And we're certainly not going to follow whatever the person that stands on the platform tells us what to do, right? Now, that's why Trump keeps saying, I'm giving back the power from DC, which represents the cabal, right? Back to the people. The power. He's giving you the power to empower yourselves.
He's wanting us to have our sovereignty and stand up. That's what is stalling everything, because everyone is still. So, in some ways I'm like, just shut it all down for a little bit and just let people figure it out. But they're literally waiting for the collective to hit a certain shifting point before they will. And so it keeps getting pushed out, and everyone's anxious. You're giving it more energy. It's pushing it out more. Take your power back. Stand up. Say no more.
Take your power back. That's what it is, guys. We've got to take our power. And this is the thing, Tanya. That's why I keep saying these people that, all right, don't wait for I'm going to wait for my pot of gold, Nasara Jasara. I'm going to wait for the med beds to heal myself. No, you can heal yourself right here and right now. You don't get it. You are in control of your body temple, right? You are in control of what you think about. Whatever you think about, you manifest. All right? That's what I keep saying. All right? Don't allow people that pretend to be more important than you, dressed up in their little uniforms like the judge and all them, sitting up on their little platforms and all that. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Even the ones that the preachers and all that stand up and they say that it's just this and their interpretation of what they're saying. Okay, because the church has told them to follow it, otherwise they're out of there. All right, that's what I'm saying. You got to detach yourself from all that rubbish. You got to see through the construct, all right, and empower yourself. And don't wait for God to do it for you. You have God in you. You make it happen today.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I've been asked to do something.
Go for
We've got the power.
That's it. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's what this is about. This show is about empowering you, empowerment, making you realize that you have the power within you to make it happen. All right? Because, as I said, Tanya, there are a lot of people saying, God willing and all that sort of stuff, God willing. You're leaving it up to God. God's giving you the power to do it. It's like, here, you've got the power. Right? I've given you the power. Use it. You know what I mean? No, I'll wait for you to do it for me. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's what I'm saying. People need to start seeing through the rubbish and empowering themselves in the now time space, not waiting for the future, because you're waiting for a future that never comes, because your future is determined what you do right now. Not living in the state of regret and in the past, I should have done that. My life is over. How many times have I heard that one, Tanya? Oh, my life's over. I can't learn anything new. I'm too old. Come on. How many times have you heard that one? I'm too old, to learn something new.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they've programmed you to believe. Because what are they programming you to believe? You're useless now, so you might as well put your foot in the grave and be done with it. You know what I mean? Put you on that mentality. How about you? It doesn't matter. Age doesn't have any bearing. All right. When you get this, that you can make your, your life what you want it to be, and stop living in the state of regret and saying, oh, I'm too old and to do this and too old to travel. I'm too old to learn something new. Guess who's doing it? You are doing it to yourself. You are disempowering yourself. You've only got the one in the mirror to blame. And that's it. And that's what I'm saying. Empower yourself today. It doesn't matter how old you are. Age has no bearing. Okay? Live and be happy. Okay? Get yourself into enthusiasm, and theos, in God, in source, connected with source. You could do it today, but it's entirely up to you. That's my message for today.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So I'm actually going to talk about, let's talk a little bit about crystals, right?
Yep.
Here's some examples. This is a Lemurian one. It's a little different, but the Lemurians came before Atlantis and were the oldest on the planet. And so crystals have memory. Crystals grow, not unlike a plant, but just very, very slow. Okay. This is a small crystal point, and it's a clear quartz crystal point. So this is what is in your cell phone. This is what is something similar. And in your pineal gland. Here's a tooth. This is an amethyst tooth. And this one is what I use as a conductor. Was it the spring equinox? I think I was using it and doing a big circle with it with copper wire wrapped in between and creating an energy circle. So I've been playing with copper and, and this a bit. And also this is like this is a one that's been made, but this is all copper wires wrapped around. Yeah, and there's your toroidal field.
The donut. You can use it for multiple purposes, Tanya. How about you can use it for, when you got hemorrhoids and you can sit on it.
And it's not soft. Your head, I tell you, sometimes. So you can use crystals for setting intentions. Crystals have a whole host of support and meaning. In fact, in Egypt, their Sinai Mountains are all crystals. We'll be going there this year when I go. So anybody interested in that, let me know. But yeah, the quantum donut. So I'm just saying you have tools at your disposal so you can start learning about new things so that when these toroidals happen and when, these specific mechanics come in, these new power sources that'll be coming in, and you are a med bed, you are becoming crystalline. I can feel my energy now running through my body. When I just stop, I can feel it. And so I can set that intention and play with that. And yes, laughter is healing. So
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Laughter changes your vibrations. What I'm saying, guys, when you tune into a higher frequency, laughter is a higher frequency. Enthusiasm, being in God, is another high frequency. So, people say don't laugh. Don't be enthusiastic. Right? So what do? Do the complete opposite. That's what I do, Tanya. The complete and utter opposite. Because I know being in those higher vibrational, using those high vibrational things, that allows me to manifest. So if I'm in an attitude of gratitude, I'm enthusiastic about it, right? I'm enthusiastic. Oh, why are you enthusiastic? Because that allows me to manifest. It allows me to be in that state of manifestation.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the energies are stronger than ever. Like my crown's like completely fired up as soon as I start talking. It's like, oh yeah, pay attention. Right. So, and even when I'm driving around, if there's an extra boost or a ring in the ear, it's like, stop and pay attention. What's going on around me? Is there something I need to know? It makes me more aware. And so I think part of this right now is like, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, because there's so much going on at the moment to pay attention to, but one doesn't have to give all their attention away. What you need to do is just be that observer and sit in your resonance, hold your own power. You are the power source. Yes, you're connected to source and you are a piece of source, God, whatever you would like to call it. It's up to you. But you are part of that power. And that is what's running this avatar, this body. So if you can resonate and send it out more, you can manifest more, because now you are resonating out strong and positive vibrations. Manifesting doesn't happen from words. It doesn't happen from thinking. It happens from all three, plus the feeling as if you
Yes.
already had it. How does it feel? You need to get in touch with your feelings. Emotions are the waves of energy coming in to signal to you something in your environment is going on and you need to pay attention, or it's something new is in your environment. That's why you have people say fear. I'm like, no, nervous sighted. You just haven't had this experience before and it's new for you. So you're nervous sighted about it. And then once you jump past it and you go through it, now that was easier. I can do it again and again and again. And you become even more powerful.
Exactly. I mean, Tanya, it's not, how can I say, when you manifest something, it's not, you got to sit there and strain your brain, right? People got to get it. It's not straining your brain. Oh, I'm going to make it move. I need that. Not like that at all. It's basically visualizing it that you've already got it, as you said, spot on. Being in enthusiasm in God, connection with source, so you can manifest it. All right, being that, and then what enthusiasm gets you into that feeling of having it right there and there. That's why I just keep saying, don't say in the future I'll get it. You'll never get it. You got to intend it. You got to put it in your mindset and visualize it, and actually taste. If you want something you want to eat, for example, you visualize and like Tanya, there's been instances which I can't. You can't call them coincidences, right?
No,
For example,
synchronicities are showing you you're going in the right direction. Keep going.
Yeah. There was a certain drink I wanted, and it was it wasn't in the fridge anywhere, right? Now, the other day, I was looking, sorry, I wasn't looking, I was just tasting it, just not even intending, as in, pushing my brain to have it, not using the brain, just being in that moment of having it, tasting it, whatever. And I opened the fridge and lo and behold, it was there. Now, you can't call these coincidences. This is what I'm saying, manifestation. Once you know how to use it, once you know you can tap into it, you're able to manifest the reality that you want and whatever you want, all right? The law of attraction. That's what they say, law of attraction. Isn't that right, Tanya?
Yeah, it's just an overused term. So
yeah, exactly. They bloody hyped it up in that thing. What was that called? The Secret or something?
Yeah, they didn't give you all the tools.
No, they didn't give it all to you. That's right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So and look, that was done by design. I remember that thing woke a lot of people up too, Tanya. Got them. A lot of people were. How can I say? I remember the time when it came out. It was years ago, and people spoke about it. It was like, the moment they watched it, it was like they were talking about it. They were looking into other things, doing the, research and whatever else. It got people thinking, right? And that's exactly what it was intended to do. Now, people got to get that this fight against good versus evil has been going on for a very long time. Not just now, right? It's been going on for a very long time. And in the dark, what does Q talk about? Bringing dark to light, meaning all the disgusting mess, all the things that they've been doing in the dark has been pushed out into the light now. That's why this is why the Great Awakening is happening. That's why we're aware of a lot of things. Beforehand, the Whiteheads have been doing things, right? But we weren't aware of it. Now that we can have an awakened mind and look back, it's like the movies, Tanya. Like, as I said, you look at a movie back in the day, you wouldn't give it, any mind, or you wouldn't decode it. You wouldn't think about things, right? Back in the day. When you're awakened and you've got an awakened mind, you see things clearly, a different light. It's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So now that you can look in the past and see what things happened, you can tell that there's definitely someone intervened and did something. And I believe that's what the Whiteheads have been doing for a while.
It's always happening for you, not to you. So everyone thinks this is happening to them right now. I wanted to tap into where somebody was saying they're just feeling better by listening on the channel. And so one of the gifts we have is the resonance of our voice, our own personal frequency to operate in, and FCB as well. We all do. So don't be afraid to use your voice. And what happens when I'm doing any healing work is because my resonance is up here or up here or up here. I'm showing your body and letting your body know and your energy know you can come here too. Let me bring you. And so then you end up vibrating higher into that resonance with. And then what happens over the span of a week or so, you start to go back down because you didn't change anything in your way of being to keep yourself vibrating higher. Does that make sense? So I'm not joking or kidding or just saying this for fact. I'm saying it because it can help you to resonate more, is to do some of the things that I've been recommending. I mean, you have free will, but if you're starting to feel low, it's up to you to take that energy and bring it back up again. Only you can shift your own energy that quickly. And
Yeah, exactly,
so
Tanya.
yeah.
I totally agree 100%. I mean, there's been instances where, you see people and they get on a real downer, right? And they don't know how to bring themselves out of it. Right? I've seen this so many times. But now that people know how to empower themselves, have the tools, that's why we're giving, we're explaining these, ways and methods of how to get yourself out of feeling that way. We're giving you the tools. Only you can use the tools. We can't use those tools for you. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
100%. Absolutely. And this is what we're all going through right now is working it out. And it might take 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Once you start, if it takes like 30 days to break a habit or inset something new, you can do it much faster than that now, the way things are, but you have to be the change you want to see in the world. You have to step up and do it. Nobody can do it for you. It can give you the tools. I'm going to tell you, any healer that you're going to, they are helping you. And then you last about a week. And unless you've raised your resonance, you're going to be going back. And so this is why I recommend. Yeah.
The other thing people need to do, stay away from energy vampires. I've come quite across, and believe you me, it's not a bunch of, all the booger stuff. It's actually real. I've come across energy vampires where you speak, when you're in their sphere, you start feeling your energy being sucked.
Yeah. Can't touch this.
Yeah, I know. Now you can't touch it, but before, you know what I mean? You had the energy vampires, and there'll be instances where you meet someone for the first time, for example, and all of a sudden they start draining your energy. It's like you're charging them and you're being sucked out of all your life.
Yep.
And then now what happens is you realize who they are. You stay away from them, right? Stay away from them because they are at this point what I consider failed help. You can't help them.
They have to choose to help themselves, right?
Yeah. You got to keep your cup full, right? It's very important that you keep your cup full at all times because, you're not going to be able to be service to anybody else. You're not going to be able to help anybody, okay? You got to make sure that you're full, you're recharged, like the battery, all right? And don't allow others to suck your life force or energy from you, all right? Because they do exist, all right? And I've come across a few of them. And the moment that I do, I know straight away. My intuition says, get out of there. Straight away, get out of there. And that's what I do. Now, obviously, there are people, and if you can bring it up on the chat, that have experienced this. I'm sure you've experienced this, and I'm not the only one, Tanya.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced that before?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, 100%. And I know within, like, I just have to look at somebody now and I'm like, oh, I know you. I know your energy. And so it's very quick. And then I know how to hold my own energy. So even though I'm with somebody that's highly stressed, trying to look at me for, a lot of people like to fight fire with fire. So they'll come at you heavy, like, rah, right? And if you fight fire with fire, all you're going to do is escalate. But if you fight fire with just staying in your own energy and you stay calm, they can't handle it and they'll leave.
You got different types of energy vampires. There's ones that will sit there and speak in a monotone and drain the living shit out of you. And it's like you're trying to find your exit constantly to get out of that, and without being rude, right? Have you ever come across that, Tanya, where you're trying to find your exit and they're not giving you an exit, right?
Yeah.
They just continue draining you through just a continuous drone style type of voice. Okay.
I would have walked away already.
Yeah, I know, but
now
back
you
in the
know.
day, Tanya, I used
Yeah.
to be like, someone that, was
Well, you
so
were a
putting everyone
musician.
else first.
Yeah.
Always. Now, the thing is, putting someone else first, you always felt empty at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be angry at yourself, and that turns into depression.
Well,
Right?
and
Being
what
depressed
happened?
is anger turned inwards.
Yeah. So we all know the triangle with the victim, the perpetrator, and the rescuer. And so if
Yeah.
you're playing victim, there's generally somebody in your life running over to rescue you, but you're playing the victim because you're blaming somebody
Yeah.
else
I was the
for what they
bloody
did to
rescuer.
you.
I was
Huh?
the rescuer, and I
There
was
you go.
like,
Because you
okay.
were giving all your energy away.
Yeah, but think about it from this perspective, Tanya. Why did it keep re-manifesting itself? Because that's source telling me, hey, you haven't learned the first time. Keep going until you bloody learn. You know what I mean?
100%.
And that's where I reached the point and I said, enough's enough. You know what I mean? Because, I used to, don't forget also, when you've been brought up, you're in the education system, when you're being brought up with your parents and all that, it's rude to say this or do that. You always got to do this. You got to. That's implanted in you. You know what I mean? So all your whole life, you've been living a program that's been programmed by the education system and by your parents, right?
Yeah.
And at the same token, you are feeling like shit.
Yeah.
And then this is what I'm saying. You come to a realization at one point in your life where you down the barrel, deeper down the barrel that you are. You know what I mean? I'm sure all of us have reached the bottom of the barrel at one point in our lives. Okay. And that usually equates to depression because you're angry at yourself because of not filling your cup.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's why I keep saying to people, fill your cup. Don't let people say, oh, you're being selfish. That's a bullshit cop-out excuse. All right? Because that's another mechanism they use, the selfish mechanism, Tanya. All right? There's so many of these little trigger keywords that they're programmed in their heads, that those words, obviously kick something in our programming, and then we revert to the old programming. It's about, we write our programs ourselves. We are the creators, right? While these people were creating their programs in us through the education system. And now that we've realized that this program can be broken, we can be broken out of the matrix. We can see life for what it is. We can see that what we're destined to do as a mankind, as a humanity, as spiritual beings. That's freedom. That's what I like to call true freedom. When you're broken out of the matrix, the programming that you've been taught from a young age, that you can break out of that, and then you can manifest things that you want in your reality. You know what I mean? That's what I believe, Tanya. That's true freedom. Freedom of the mind. And that's what I'm saying. You don't need a piece of paper to tell you that you're free. No. Here. It's all in
and
here.
live from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody's just mentioning in here. So yes, trees have a toroidal field as well. And because they're like an antenna on nature, you can go and sit under a tree and sit there for half an hour, an hour, and just meditate there or hang out. You will start to connect heart to heart with that energy field, and you'll find it amplifies you. Absolutely. Cats, dogs, a dog's tail wagging, a frequency. A cat purring, a frequency. Both are very good for humans. Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, the dogs always look at us like we're the god, but the cats always look at you like they're the god. but they're both good. So they're just very distinctly different animals, and one might resonate with you. But pets and animals can make you so happy, you guys. So they're beautiful to have. Absolutely. Look how FCB's cute little dog brings him so much
Oh,
joy.
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
even
thanks
though
so.
you
See, you
you
just melt
spoke
as soon as
with
you say
all
it.
my hats and jocks and socks and everything you can imagine, I still love the little tyke. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, Tanya, the other thing I want to talk about is stop playing the victim.
Yeah.
That was another thing I used to sit there and do, playing the victim.
Blame externals for what's going
Yes,
on for you.
yes.
We're all
Always to
brainwashed to do
blame
that too.
external. It's that thing's fault. It's that's the fault. His fault. Her fault. Blah 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 blah. Rather than take responsibility and take ownership and do something about it. When you come to a realization that you are the very one that's been putting yourself into this karmic cycle. All right. I don't know what you just did there, Tanya.
I don't know
All
what
right.
I did either.
Okay. That you're the one that you realize that you're the one that's put yourself into this cycle, this never-ending cycle, and stop playing the victim and blaming things, because I've seen so many victims out there, Tanya, that have been speaking on the Telegram and whatever, and I'm just thinking, well, hold on a minute, take a step back, take what I like to do, and it's a good exercise, Tanya, is take myself out of my body, if you know what I mean, and look at it from the observer's point of view.
Mhm.
Right. Now, if you look at it from that perspective, you get a much more clearer, clear idea on how to fix things up, to take control. And that's what I say to people: stop playing the victim, stop blaming circumstances, stop blaming things, and take ownership, take responsibility. No matter how hard things seem, just do it. Take yourself out of the body and look at it from a third party point of view, as in the observer. Look at it from that perspective. That's why Tanya keeps saying, don't be the absorber, be the observer, because as the observer, we're able to see things at an unbiased, reality, right?
Detach from being reactive.
Yeah.
Now you can respond because you're observing it from a different point of view. So yeah, it's super important, and that's another T-shirt. And so as we're having a breakdown for a breakthrough, we got so many T-shirts.
Well, that's true. We all, obviously experience our little breakdowns.
Yeah,
Okay. But through
and
a
that's
breakdown,
okay.
think of it as being the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Right? When you hit the bottom of the barrel, there's only one way, and that is up. You know what I mean? That's the only way, is up. But you need to, this is the thing, Tanya, there are people that walk around and blame, play the victim and all that, okay, and that's their life. There are people that reach the bottom of the barrel and they cry for help, right? And help is given when you ask. It's always there, okay? It will come. But the thing is, you've got to reach the point where there's got to be a point in your life where you say, enough's enough. This isn't working out for me. There's got to be a different way. And that's exactly what I started doing, Tanya, when I started realizing there is a different way.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, my programming, that's what they say. What does Buddha say? One of the Buddha sayings is that you got to empty the cup to put something new in there, right? So what does that mean? You got to release, all the programming, all the things that you've known, and empty your cup to refill it. Refill it with knowledge, refill it and always make sure that there's always room to fill your cup. You know what I mean? You always got to have that.
Well, and part of journaling is to release what no longer serves you, right? And then that's, and having gratitude for what's going well, so your focus goes there versus on what you don't want. I like to write out things I don't want and then burn it. Like if something's bugging me, I'll write it out and then I'll torch it because it's like, yeah, that's done, right? Or like I say often, I flick thoughts away because it no longer resonates at all for me. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the same thing with people too. You'll meet people, okay, that obviously, look, you got family. You can't change family, right? But there are people that come into your life and they don't resonate with you. That's fine. You know what I mean? It's time for them to go. Let them go and wish them well. That's what I do, Tanya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send them off with grace and love. Send them off with grace and love.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, there are people that come into your life and they say, you know, just the most negative things. You know what I mean? Now, what happens when you keep listening to negativity all the time? You know, you're going to absorb it. You know, unless you're a master and masters and masters to be able to not absorb it. You know what I mean? But people that you hang around with in your sphere, right, on a regular basis will affect you. So it's better to let them go. Better to let them go, move forward. Okay? It's necessary that you realize that, because there are people, as I said, energy vampires, people that are in your sphere that don't resonate with what your level of awareness is, you know, and where you want to be. I've had to do that, Tanya. I've had to do that.
Of course.
I've had to make some really hard choices. But I know they are the right choices.
When you keep your vibration running high, those that cannot handle that resonance will spin out. They will just spin out. And it might be a complete blow up. It might be, oh, we need to, you know, break up, or whatever it is, you know. And it can be really challenging, because there's people that you know, a lot of people are like, well, friends for life. And I'm like, well, that's like saying I'm going to get married for life. Like, I don't know if I fully believe in that, right? Because we grow and change, and sometimes the other person doesn't. And the same thing with friendship. We grow and we choose our path. And so it's okay. And yes, if you're feeling a bit lonely, you're going to run into your frequency family, your soul family, because that's what happens when you clear that out. Absolutely. And with family, love them where they are. Love them where they are. Try and find something in common and just keep that connection a little bit open. But if you don't want to, don't. It's also that.
That's the other thing, Tanya. Don't force something on yourself that you know, to make others happy and not you.
Yeah.
You know, how many times, Tanya, oh, you know, it's the right thing to do, you better do this. You know, how many times have you heard that one?
Right.
You know? Yeah. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. If something happens, you're going to blame me anyway, because you're going to say you made that decision, not me. You know what I mean?
Well, anybody that says to me, you need to do this or you should do this, I'm like, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, everybody has free will. You can say, I always say, in my honest opinion, or what I like to do, take what resonates. Never going to tell somebody what to do, because I'm not in their shoes. I will listen to them and try and get to their perspective. And then we can maybe talk it out so that they actually come up with a solution. That's always the wish and the goal when I'm guiding people, is just to get them to see things from another perspective, so they too can start to shift themselves. Again, this isn't a time to start outsourcing all your power and relying on somebody else for everything. It's time to start taking it back for yourself and stepping in for you and getting to know you, because when you change you, the entire outside world changes.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, the other thing, Tanya, as well, is that, you know, people say, oh, that person made me angry. No, you made yourself angry. You did that to yourself because you allowed yourself to get angry. You know, and people blame, oh, this person made me feel this way. No, you made yourself feel this way. This is how people, this is what people got to get, that we are responsible. We should take ownership of our emotions. Okay. So, for example, if you're in a situation and someone is saying something negative about you, you've got two choices. One, it's like a gift, Tanya, and this is another Buddha teaching, which I love. If I give you a gift and I call this insult, and I give it to you, you take it, that's on you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So
somebody else's opinion of me. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, guys. This is the power that we have within us. Okay? That we stop blaming external factors for our situation and how we feel. Once you start to do that, that's when you start to feel free and empowered. Okay? I know there are, you know, people that piss you off, right? Oh, there you go. I'm blaming people that are pissing me off, right? So this is the thing. I've got two choices. When I go there, allow them to piss me off, or not even see them and wish them well, right? And not put yourself in that circumstance. You know, that's what I'm saying. You got choices. You know, people are projecting the way they feel and they want you to absorb it. Now, don't be the absorber, okay? And just say, you know what? That's on you. You're feeling that way. I'm not going to allow that projection to allow me to feel angry. Because this is what I'm saying. When you take control over every aspect of your life, things change. When you start to accept ownership and responsibility, things change. When you keep putting it out to others, what are you doing? You're giving your power out, right? You're giving it out. You're disempowering yourself. You're also giving out your energy, as Tanya said in the past. We've given our energy out to so many places, right, that we've got no more energy left for ourselves, our spiritual energy, right? What does Tanya say? Reclaim it. You know that thing you say.
I call all my energy back to me through time, space, and dimension. I call all my energy back to me through time, space, and dimension. I call all my energy back to me through time, space, and dimension. So be it, and so it is. So be it, and so it is. So be it, and so it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's exactly what it is, Tanya. You're reclaiming your power. You're reclaiming your energy back, okay? Because there are places that, and as Tanya said, without us knowing, right? Because we've done it without us knowing. We can't remember every place we've left it at. Isn't that right, Tanya?
Absolutely. I just do an all-encompassing, and it's the intention in my words that matters.
Exactly that. It's the intention that you put behind it. It's the intention. And that's what I'm saying, guys. When you start to live this way, when you start to, and it takes time and practice, like you do with everything, you need to practice it. Just like, you know, when you speak, okay, you need to practice what you say, because what you're saying out of your mouth, it vibrates and it affects whatever you're trying to manifest or the reality you're trying to create. All right. So once you start practicing these things, you start just, you know, to be aware of when you're, say, with somebody that usually upsets you, and then you implement these thought processes and say, well, you know what? That's them. It's not me, right? I'm not going to allow them to project their anger or how they're feeling. You can turn around and say, listen, and this is what I do, Tanya. If I'm in a circumstance where people are upsetting me, whatever, you know what I do? I say, listen, okay, let's just cut it off here. You know, I've got things to do. Simple. You know what I mean? Remove yourself. You don't need to be there. It's your choice what you do. Take responsibility, take ownership, start practicing your manifesting skills, start practicing, you know, how you speak, all right? And stop putting yourself in the state of regret or state of a future that never comes. Start speaking more in words that has power in the now time space, all right? And start reclaiming your energies like Tanya's shown you. And also, what's more important as well is stop allowing people to dictate how you feel, all right? Only you can do that. And then you watch your reality change. You watch the things change in your life, all right? You'll be like amazed. People don't get it that, you know, what do they say? Consciousness is the seed, right? And that sprouts everything. Make sense?
Yeah. Penny Lane says Jen is getting ants in her pants. We're over 2 hours.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm used to it because we do the marathon ones with Dave. So, you know, tomorrow we got the pulse.
You're
That's
getting
going to be
used to
another
it.
one. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'm used to this. And then, and you know, the thing is, Tanya, I do this basically nearly every day.
I know.
Yeah.
But we need to keep it in a reasonable time frame so that people will actually watch it. They'll go 3 hours. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly
When
that.
when it's the news, I get that because there's been so much going on and you're really giving lots of beta. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what, Tanya, I used to watch like, you know, I watched things like Dr. Wayne Dwyer, Bob Proctor, all these different amazing gurus, ones that had some really amazing teachings, I will listen to them for hours, right? It's because, how can I say, when there is valuable content, right? Because there's a lot of things that we are sharing here that is about empowerment, all right? What we've been trying to do, and in the Vibes High show, is empower people. So hopefully, they have, they can set the time aside, go for a walk, whatever you want to listen to us, listen to what we're saying, okay, and get yourself in enthusiasmos, in theos, in God, right? And make those changes and start practicing what we're telling you, what we've been showing you. It's entirely up to you. That's all we can do is give you the tools. Hey, here's the tools. At the end of the day, it's up to you to use them. True?
100%. You are your own power source and you can radiate out. So when I sit here and I start expanding my heart chakra and sending it out, and it's just a vibration, I can feel the difference of what happens around me. Play with it. Go out in public and see what happens. Smile at people, compliment them, be kind, and see what comes back to you in a different way. When you shift your vibration, everyone else around you is forced to shift. So you actually are in control. So take your power back, be in control. Love you.
Exactly. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into Vibes High Show here on the Freedom Channel broadcast. Until next time, and tune into the Pulse tomorrow. We got we got Resonance with Tanya and Melody tomorrow, which is great. And what will you be speaking about tomorrow, Tanya? Just a recap.
Plasma, and we're speaking of plasma again because it's a take 2 because we didn't have enough time. So yeah.
And Dave, obviously, he's amazing. Let me tell you, Dave is a genius. The way he's created the format together. We work really well. I'm really looking forward to the Pulse. And as I said, guys, we give you a variety of different shows, and the reason why is to create a balance. It's very important that we have the spiritual aspect of it, because spiritual well-being is very important. Just like we need to eat, so does the soul, right? We need spiritual, food, so to speak. Then we've got, Chef Agat that shows you what's the right way to eat, what's, the delicious food that she has, and living cuisine, which is great. Then we've got also, others that are, doing astrology, like, sort of had a brain fart again.
Astral Jewels. Serial astrology, unique on Mondays, hitting you with a little bit of psychological information, right?
Yes.
And soul tribe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got also
Saturdays.
We've got also David from White Star Teachings. Love David's show. I love his calm voice. All right. And I love his teachings. It just resonates with me. So we've got a wealth of shows for your benefit. It's not just intel heavy. All right. We cover, I believe, every aspect. Okay. And that's what we try to do here on the Freedom Channel broadcast. So anyway, guys, have a great one. Go out in nature. Enjoy yourselves. Practice those manifestation exercises. Start living in the now time space, okay, and making sure that your cup is full, okay? Stay away from the energy vampires, all right? Get rid of them, okay? And don't allow others to project their feelings on you. You are in control. Cheers, everyone. Thank you very much. God bless. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome. Thank you.